Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. It's Cynicalex, and we got a brand new survey in Marvel Future Fight, and I really enjoyed doing the last one, and I think it gave a lot of important data to the devs, and I always encourage mobile games, especially this one because I love it so much, to communicate with their player base. So I want to do everything that I can to promote and highlight this form of communication, because in-game surveys are pretty rare in games in general. And so I do think the devs are taking these notes pretty seriously, and it just wouldn't make sense in any way, shape, or form for them to go to the trouble of adding these surveys if they weren't actually going to look through them. So yeah, we're going to do this survey today. PSA, I've already gotten an advanced heads up from other players that have done it, that it is about Danger Room. So it seems like now they're sort of narrowing their focus, which is interesting because maybe from the first survey, they got a lot of information and a lot of feedback that pointed to Danger Room. And Danger Room is kind of a unique game mode in Marvel Future Fight, and I would say in mobile games in general, because it combines elements of PvE gameplay and PvP gameplay, and it actually provides a little bit of both. So I do think that Danger Room is a great game mode, despite the more recent flaws that it has been exposed to, and I do think that Danger Room can become an even better game mode with the proper changes and additions. So we're going to do the survey here. I highly recommend that you do the survey. Just go over to your inbox and then go over to notice, and then you're probably going to want to get rid of that pink dot anyways, and then you get 100 energy for doing it, which is dope. So we're going to go ahead and do this. Do you play Danger Room? So here we go. I don't play Danger Room, actually. Now I do not. Choose the reasons why you don't play Danger Room, and I assume if you said yes, it would be choose the reasons why you do play Danger Room. So it should be interesting to compare the results, because obviously the answers here wouldn't be the same, because these are sort of negative answers, and then why you do play Danger Room would be the positive answer. So actually, if someone could take this survey and answer yes instead of no, and then send me a screenshot of their answers, I'm actually really curious what the devs think is good about Danger Room. But maybe it's just the reverse of these, like instead of it doesn't offer rewards I need, it would be it offers rewards that I need. Maybe it's just that simple. But yeah, I don't play Danger Room because it doesn't offer the rewards I need. I didn't have an enjoyable experience when losing to other players. I don't think I really care about losing to other players that much. Matchmaking takes too long. That's definitely a problem for me. The bosses are not difficult at all, and there's no autoplay feature. I don't care about that. I don't really think that this properly encapsulates the issues with Danger Room. I don't think these are good options. Maybe I would say that I didn't have an enjoyable experience when losing to other players. Maybe that is actually the closest thing, because if you haven't played Danger Room in a while, then you may not know this, but with recent power creep, and when I say recent power creep, it's actually a year ago. A year ago, they introduced characters like Moonstone, which was the start of insanely powerful transcended characters that can just pop off right at the beginning of a Danger Room match. Whereas tier 3 characters, like, we always say Sharon Rogers does so much damage, and all Ghost Rider is insane, and they are insanely damaging characters. Like, they have very high DPS, but a lot of that comes from the tier 3 skill, which takes you at least 15-20 seconds to build up. That's not the case with Supergiant, Moonstone, and all these other transcended characters. They can punch for maximum DPS on the first second, and that basically has devolved in addition to the introduction of Pierce. So it's basically those two things at the same time, introducing more characters like Moonstone that have insane burst DPS, and adding Pierce basically created a situation where most of the time you queue into a Danger Room match and it lasts less than 10 seconds. And I don't exaggerate when I say that. I've finished myself. I can actually finish probably close to 10 Danger Room matches in under 10 seconds with 10 different teams, because I have a stacked roster, and I can one shot with Moonstone, I can one shot with Supergiant. Heck, you can one shot with Spider-Man now. Apparently, it's really gotten to that point where very many characters can one shot with just their opening rotation, or in the Transcendent character's case, with the full Transcendent rotation. Human Torch can one-shot, basically, if you give him a couple supports. So there's just too little gameplay, right? There's too little to be involved, and it's basically whoever throws the first big punch first is going to win. And yeah, that's and there's other problems that have added to this issue, like a lot more characters have iframe ignore on their basic kit. So they fly through all their skills, and they end with the iframe ignore skill. So even when the Danger Room boss, Jean Grey, Strife, Magneto, when they're going into iframe to hide to go to the next phase, you're still doing damage to them because of your iframe ignore skill, like Supergiant or Ghost Rider's third skill. And so you still end up killing them in the middle of different phase transitions. You also have like a messy situation where the stage hazards, like the lasers or the tornado, will trigger at the same time as the boss mechanics, like Jean Grey doing the fireballs, or Magneto dropping the things, or Strife opening the chaos gates. And that just creates an experience that is neither fun nor skillful, because the screen is just littered with garbage, like littered with hazards, and there's no way that you can dodge. So that, in my opinion, is really the issue with Danger Room. Is Danger Room has not properly kept up with power creep, and Danger Room is supposed to be, you know, you're beating this boss, but it's also a race against time because the other team is trying to beat the boss. So I think they need to do more. First of all, they should probably just ignore Pierce. Pierce should just be ignored in Danger Room. That's my biggest suggestion. But secondly, that would probably go a long way to fixing Danger Room, just saying everyone's Pierce is set to 0. And that would make it a much more fair playing ground for players competing against each other. And then the second thing would probably be they need to introduce more of the buffs, those unique buffs that make Danger Room so interesting. Like, you know, you get a buff when you press enough skills, and when you collect enough of the energy, you can press a buff that will heal your enemy's boss, or will shoot missiles at your boss to deal more damage. They need to add a couple more of those ones. They need to create some new ones that are interesting and not too, you know, just not too game breaking, but that are interesting, because there are some weaker ones like the lasers, for example. And then they need to make those trigger faster. They need to lower the amount of energy that you need, the light energy. They need to reduce the amount so you can trigger those more often, because that's the unique mechanic, right? That's the unique mechanic of, you know, the unique mechanic of squad battle is the energy that you collect so you don't get time frozen. The unique mechanic of ABX is the Frost Beast that never dies, so you're just pumping the max damage into him, and you're perfecting your rotation and perfecting your timing. The key mechanic with Danger Room is that in addition to your skills and your positioning against the boss and dodging the boss's mechanics, you have this extra 7th skill. You can time freeze the other team. You can heal their boss, right? You can shoot missiles. You can buff your team with the Berserk ability. Like, these are really cool and really unique. They need to lean more into those buffs, and they need to lean away from Pierce and one-shotting. So tell us the improvements you'd like to see with Danger Room. I would like to see difficulty adjustments for sure. Remove content or change reward locations. I don't agree with that. Add autoplay. I hate that. Matchmaking improvements. I honestly don't care that much about it. And then greater rewards. Yeah, I would say greater. Oh, you can only choose one. Okay. Yeah, I do think the rewards in Danger Room could be a little bit better. My biggest issue with Danger Room, and the issue that a lot of players have, is similar to the issues that they have with a game like Marvel Future Revolution, because you do get daily rewards in Danger Room that can be good. I'm talking, by the way, I've been saying Danger Room, but I'm always talking about Danger Room Extreme. Do not play Danger Room Normal, because it's just not worth it. Anyways, so I'm talking about Danger Room Extreme. The daily rewards in Danger Room Extreme are pretty good, but basically what you're doing is you're playing and you're building up to Vibranium rank or Challenger rank or whatever, so that you can open that weekly box at the end, hoping for a big bio, 20 bios of Negasonic, or 20 bios of Professor X, or even 10 bios or whatever, right? Like, you're hoping to hit the jackpot. And then inevitably you open the chest and you get 150 Cyclops bios, and you're like, well, that wasn't worth very much. I mean, the 150 bios are not bad, because you need generic bios as well for ranking up native tier 2s and stuff like that, but they're not, it's not really a rewarding experience at the end of the week. So my advice would to the devs, because MFR, Marvel Future Revolution, has this problem where they're putting the best rewards at the end of the week, but they're kind of random. So if you get nothing, then you feel super disappointed and you feel like you've wasted a whole week's worth of grinding. And that's not how most MFF game modes work, right? Most MFF game modes give you good daily rewards because they want you to keep logging in daily. So my advice to the devs would either be to, either make the weekly rewards better to offset the RNG of you getting good bios versus bad bios. Like, let's say you get bios and you get gold, right? Like, let's say you get like 5 million gold if you get to Challenger, and you get 3 million gold if you get to Vibranium, and then you get 1.5 million gold. That's not bad, right? 3 million gold at the end of the week, it's like an extra conquest. Or instead of getting bios at the end of the week, you get tokens, and then you can use those tokens in a Danger Room shop where you can select bios for specific characters so that you can target farm those specific characters. That's basically my advice as far as the rewards go. But yeah, greater rewards, I don't know. I guess even if they changed Danger Room so it's not a one-shot fest, I still probably wouldn't play it personally just because I don't need any rewards from Danger Room. So I actually do think that rewards are the most important thing. Like if they could only fix one thing about Danger Room, I would say make the rewards better. Because, and the other thing is, like the big elephant in the room that the devs don't realize is players aren't playing Danger Room because there are no mutants. Like I really hope the devs have clued into this. And maybe I should have said this earlier in the video, but it's very obvious to me. You guys are not releasing any mutants. You released like 5 mutant uniforms in the entire year, which is absurdly small. Like 5 uniforms for an entire subsect of characters over the course of 365 days. There's just no way that you can expect people to play Danger Room. They play Danger Room for mutant materials: Phoenix feathers, Mcron crystals, Mcron shards. There's no new mutants, so you don't need those materials. Sure, you can use those materials for crafting, but you can also just get those materials by farming the Epic Quest missions. It's way easier. You don't have to worry about matchmaking. You don't have to worry about being on a team, getting disconnected, lagging. You don't have to worry about getting stomped by an opponent and losing your rank, losing your score, feeling bad. You just click, 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 you're done. 2 seconds, right? In the time that it takes you to queue up for one Danger Room Extreme match, you could have, auto-cleared all of the missions, all of the Deadpool and X-Men Epic Quest missions that give you Phoenix Feathers and Mcron Crystals, and go on your way and go about your day, right? So I do think rewards are the biggest thing that need to change for Danger Room, and I think they should either, I know I said tokens or I said gold, but I think the best idea would be to expand the number of resources, expand the list of items that you get from Danger Room Extreme, because, for example, Danger Room Extreme requires that you use tier 3 and transcended characters. You cannot bring tier 2 characters into Danger Room Extreme. So why not have tier 3 materials drop in Danger Room Extreme? Maybe not tier 3 materials, maybe just awakening materials, right? Awakening crystals and Mandalay gem fragments, because right now they only drop in squad battle and as an advanced glory token reward, but that's not necessarily a reward that you can count on every week, because you have to make the correct voting assumption for who the challenger winner is going to be. So I think probably that would be the best solution. I think that would be the easiest solution, and I'm not saying that would be the best overall solution. Oh, hey, nice. Oh, I didn't know this existed. Happy holidays? What is this? What? 25 TCP? Nice. The holiday celebration gift. Cool. Okay, go pick that up as well. So yeah, I don't think that is the most holistic way to fix Danger Room, just to add awakening crystals and Mandalay gem fragments. That's hilarious, by the way. But I do think that if they did that, that a lot of players would instantly start playing Danger Room if they just added awakening crystals and Mandalay gem fragments as a daily or weekly drop to Danger Room Extreme. But there's lots of things, like off the top of my head, I didn't write these down or pre-plan these, but there's tons of things they can do for Danger Room to make it more interesting. I do think that the rewards need to be looked at first, and then I think the one-shotting, right? Like they need to look at how long matches last, and they need to reduce or eliminate matches that are under 30 seconds. Because the other problem with Danger Room is just psychologically, you're not going to feel good about taking a minute to queue up for a match. Like, look how long it takes, right? Taking a minute for me to queue up for a match, and then the match lasts 10 seconds, right? That's not going to lead to a fun game mode experience. Nobody is going to be like, man, I want to do that again. I want to sit in a queue for 60 seconds with or without my friends, right? Like, you could be with your friends, sure, it's a little bit more entertaining, but you're sitting in a queue for at least 30 seconds, a minute, 2 minutes. And I understand this is not the most popular game in the world. I understand that it's on its 7th year, so it's got, the player base does grow smaller over time. I'm not expecting this game to compete with like Fortnite and stuff, but you've got to recognize that if you're going to make players wait a long time, then the match itself should be at least as long as the lobby time, right? If the lobby time exceeds the match time, I'm not going to play. And that's how a lot of people feel. Well, then that's why they don't want to play I use the Fortnite example, but they don't want to play the regular BR, battle royale mode, because it takes them 5 minutes to get into a match and drop out of the bus, and then they get one tapped in Tilted Towers, and they're done. They had 5 seconds of gameplay for a 5-minute wait time. It's just astronomically imbalanced and one-sided. So I do think that addressing the difficulty and addressing how long matches take and making the matches take longer. I don't want 5-minute matches in Danger Room, don't get me wrong, but they should take at least 30 seconds. I would say at least 45 seconds, closer to matches should be between 45 seconds to a minute and a half. I think that's a great length for a match. More than a minute and a half, more than 2 minutes may be too long. But again, that's not really under the devs' control as far as like players just coming in with really bad builds. But yeah, after the rewards and after the difficulty and the time it takes for matches and the power creep and the one-shotting, I think the third thing they can look at is just trying to integrate other things into Danger Room. Like, why not give players a bonus, give them bonus rewards, bonus gold or bonus biometrics if they play with their friends? Like, you know, 5% increase if for the first friend that you invite on your friends list or in your alliance, and then a 10% increase for the second friend. So you get a 15% or make it more, make it, you know, 15 for the first one and 15 for the second one. So you get a 30% increase in your rewards and your bios and your gold and whatever if you play with your friends. Make it so that there's 2 rankings. There's a ranking for Danger Room and there's a ranking for Danger Room Alliance. And it just calculates all of the rankings in your alliance for Danger Room and then ranks each alliance based on their contribution to Danger Room. So the more players in the same alliance that can rank in the top 50 are going to push their alliance up. Like, for example, After 5 Avengers is obviously doing a lot to be on this list with multiple players. You can see A5A listed multiple times. There's some other like the Indian Alliance here, or Lethal or something like that. Like there's a few alliances here that are making multiple you know, contributions with multiple players. But again, just off the top of my head, that's another way to just easily integrate the existing content and the existing systems in the game to make Danger Room feel more like this epic competition between players and maybe between alliances, who knows. Or even just, you could have factions, you could have weekly rotating factions, and then when players join Danger Room, they can choose, are they going to choose to faction with the villains or the heroes? And then at the end of the week, whichever faction has more contribution points gets a small reward. It's super easy, and it makes sense logically because all of the faction battles have been for mutants. Mr. Sinister, Colossus, Nightcrawler. That's always been the case, and I think just maybe once or twice it wasn't for a mutant, but you get what I'm saying. So yeah, that's the Danger Room survey. I honestly said a lot more than the survey asked, so hopefully the devs will make the next survey a little bit longer, and I think all of the surveys should have a text box at the end. You know, if you have any additional ideas, write them down here, because there's no reason not to. Maybe the last survey was too long and they got overwhelmed, but there's no reason to make the survey this short. It should definitely be at least a couple of questions longer than they did it. Yeah, I can't even go back to the survey now. So yeah, hit me up in the comments down below. Let me know what you think of the survey and what you think of my ideas for Danger Room. And if you have some great ideas for Danger Room, drop them down below in the comments. Like the video so that the devs know we're taking this seriously and they see this and they act on it. And thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.